outside looking in, inside looking out war strategy. So I'm going to prove that the very creator, the microchip man, the people who made the prison, who are now seeking sympathy for the creation they had, might be on the outside looking in, inside looking out, like the transmission of you guys' little white crap, right? This haze, right? So you guys use me as a conduit, right? You send me the swastika, so you guys might be on the outside, whether it's Paso Robles or Denver or one of the states or one of the nations, and you're passing a message into your army on the inside here, right? Coronado. You could be in Coronado, right? You're faking people out, right? Joe or Harry, right? But you're sending a message into your army here, right? For another thing out, right? To develop sympathy for your clan, right? So I'm going to say the automated brain project, and I'm going to prove, David, that you are in fact, one of you or one of your friends committed murder and you're framing people, right? And little Quinwan. Okay, the bit of dead or whatever you guys do, the Elleries or what. The Ellery had a brother, right, on the outside, the brother on the inside, right? The very prison that you had, the group of you created, is this nothing but a sympathy ploy for whatever political agenda you're trying to prove or crime that you're trying to cover up. The red lines on the ground, all that stuff means usually a man who created the device then, to prove it, runs to New York to prove it, and then attacks the very same people that he proved it about, right? And then the people who are stuck on the inside from that man's proof, right? Back, forth, seesaw. Right? So are you guys sure you didn't kill each other because you were loonies? Did you not fall in the same trap because you were in love with certain dictators? So Joe and Harry J. Race and Ellery and DJ Dave and Perlita Quinwan and Paso Robles GPS Anklet Man and Elton Anderson and Bald East Coast Negro and Gordon and Freddie from Texas. You all come here, do your spiel, and then you leave, but you have some that stayed here and some that left. Some that mess around with Bailey and me and then left. To try to create sympathy, right? Or the Negroes trying to, from LA to San Diego, back forth, where caused your riots to create sympathy for your civil rights movement or the gay movement. Color red, black, blue, green. Right? The Indians from the outside attacking and moving out. Smoke signals. Is that what the white haze is? Smoke signals. So see how I can prove that you guys might be in the Northeast Quarter conducting the very same terrorist attack that Joe or one of them already did back in the 50s and 60s. You're copying. So that's why I tell people to reference certain states and nations in the military and the police so they can gain knowledge about those areas. Because you guys are not really interested in developing. You got a man who's alive who's maybe an immortal trying to run a war against his own grandson to cover up that he was a pedophile. And that's where you guys come up with all these names and all this weird shit and a falsified criminal record in Ohio. And possibly, Harry, you killed 2 people and then you humped them. Or little Quinwans or whatever. See? So you guys could be famous in the future. Are you up in space doing the same thing? Who knows? War games go on. The whole point is I'm setting it up so the group of you with your philosophy, how you run it, you're actually fighting a war against yourselves. And you have to either choose to come to peace and develop the land and fix the problems, or go to war with your own friends and family. And so I'm just a relay, because I kind of understand there's more stuff going on in my body that I didn't want placed there because a psychopath like my grandfather had to make up a story, or, you guys had to have a sex party and it didn't work out too great, stuff like that. That's Dave. You'll get your chance for the Confederacy, but it generally doesn't work. Or the whole Jew story, you're not a bit of Jew because you're jealous, or blah, 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 blah. The Bitty Bat 4 and the Baby Boy Blues 4-4, same old men fighting each other, right? But really you're friends, but you guys don't know how to fix all the problems, so you just use your youth or your children. And some of your children move out, move away, and stuff like that. So as I relay information, more of this information goes out to other people secretly, or on a public scale. People get to understand the true people who were involved in the terrorist attack originally anyway, and their whole made-up story, because it's, spoiled Michigan, whatever. And then those people who want to use my information to like grow and evolve around the crap that you guys have created, they can do that, because I've already asserted that I'm not a part of any street gangs. I'm not really into that. I'm not a part of a cartel, and I don't dress up people and mutilate their faces to look a certain way and make up names like the Spaniards maybe do, or the Mexicans trying to come up, or it's just a whole ploy of an American man who became a traitor, following the footsteps of maybe Joe, because you tortured me and Brian and maybe some of our friends. You guys got to cover it up, a little bit too many drugs to cover for Dave, that you guys want to rise up in there. And the minister claiming, all this stuff happened, but he didn't know, right? The foxhole, copying another man that you guys never knew, right? So Marktown, Sullivan, Colorado, and then there's Bailey, and then Colorado, and then Fairplay, Colorado, surrounding a piece of land that none of you men own. But Greg Faust owned a piece of land in there, but none of the men I keep listing that group. He's fighting over property, inheritance. When I made clear that I'm not interested in my parents, the inheritance that they may have given me, because I don't value their property more than their love, right? Just like Jay Beswick, right? I care about his family more than their property. But other people might care about their property because you guys maybe killed people to gain their property, like looting gold or a little gold piece. So you guys are the ones really following the movies, but then complain about it being a movie. So you actually are making it real. So in order, like I said, Dave, if you want something different, habits have to change like 180 degrees, which is kind of hard to pivotly for a large millions amount of people. And we know now that the United States exists, and there's bigger pieces by conversations and, people saying these states and stuff like that. So if you want something to happen, Perlita, to learn something maybe from the military or the government that they only know how to do, you have to ask them. And if Joe's using Google, his great Google, to copy from something else, from lifestyles that my family or other people knew, then he's in a violation, okay? Because he's trying to set up his own playland, and maybe not everybody else agrees with that. And so, yeah, I relay information to your president, to Congress, to your police, to the military, so they're prepared, because they're always going to be prepared, and I'm sure they are listening and paying attention. But if you want to be the next Nixons and the Watergate and all that, they're going to let you guys, but it didn't work out too well for Nixon. So it's history here. We're learning. Warfare tactics change. Or you guys really don't care about war? Are you guys trying to do a civil rights movement? What?